Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Jinns are a part of this creation. They live in this universe. The same way that we live, we have marriages, we have our businesses, we have our different talents, we have male and female, we have different religions. Jinns all have the same things. They have their own territory, we have our own life. And therefore sometimes we have some clashes together. Sometimes we disturb them, sometimes they disturb us. So some people that they have spiritual issues, they have different cases of spiritual disturbance, are the ones that either they have initially unwillingly have disturbed someone of the jinns, or that jinn has done something to them. So in this video, we want to talk about the important points that we may do in our houses which attracts them in and may even disturb them. The first thing is keeping trash at home. According to the Islamic teachings, at night trash should be out of the house. 2. Hadith says that when you eat your meat, you have a food, you have your meals and there's meat in it, make sure you don't clean the bone thoroughly, because Prophet said that it's their food, leave it for them. 3 is that Hadith says that being naked at home is something that attracts them in. 4 is Imam Sadiq alayhi salam says that after 7 dhira, which is around 3.5 meters above the earth, is their territory. So those who are living in high buildings, in high floors and apartments, they have to make sure to have some more protections. It's like building a house in middle of the highway and then you go and complain that I wonder why there's so much noise, because the place you have built your house is not an appropriate place. Islamic houses, it's supposed to be flat, it's supposed to be like villas, because of different reasons. One is that the jinns who are living on the ground are called Ummar. They don't disturb you, and they are positive jinns, and they have no harm. And more we have these type of jinns in our environment, less we get disturbed by the jinns who are arid, the jinns who may disturb us. Therefore, you can say that your house has no jinns. Jinns, they do live with us. It's just like in the street when you go to work or when you walk to home, on the way you may not notice how many birds are on the way. There are birds in the streets, there are cats on the streets, but you don't notice. You don't look at them. You don't pay attention a lot to them normally. So they are like that. They don't pay attention to you, nor you do care where they are. So we live with it together, right? So more we have these positive jinns in our houses, more our house is protected. There are certain fruit trees, like citrus fruits. These trees usually have guardians. They have muwakkil from jinns, that they protect that tree. More we have these type of jinns at home, we make sure that our house is safely guarded. While more we go upwards, these jinns would be less, and therefore we may have arid. Arid are the jinns that they may pass and they may disturb us. In the Holy Quran says that Qareenun min al-jinn. Qareen is the type of jinn that is usually with us. Some they believe that they are born with us, and they have their own religion, they have their own life. It's just that sometimes we get disturbed by them. Not everyone has that. The point is that staying naked at home is another point that we have to make sure it doesn't happen. 4 is that red colors, using red colors on the walls and in the houses is something attractive of those negative jinns. You know that jinns, they have different types of religions. The other point is using leather at home. They love leather. The other point is metallic things, because jinns are from fire, from safra, and iron on metallic things is sauda, is cold. They usually attracted to the metallic things. So we make sure if you're in touch with metallic things, we make sure we wash our hands afterwards, because we use the knife, we use the nail cutter, we may use scissors, So we are in touch with these. Better not to be in touch, especially for our food containers. Better to be like pots which are made from like ceramic or granite or from glass, rather than using metallic things. Since the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that al-hadidu khabathun munajjasun. Mirrors are the other item that people may use in their houses, and this is something that can attract them in the houses. So if you have mirrors at home, first of all, we make sure we don't have unnecessary mirrors at home. And two, if you have mirrors, or in your pocket, in your purse, you may have mirrors, make sure you put it in a case. The other thing that Islamically we should avoid and try to reduce are using dolls and statues in the houses, which is attracting those creatures in the house. So if your child wants dolls and you have lots of dolls at home, it's okay. Once they finish playing, make sure you tell them to put it in the cupboard. Don't let them to be roaming around. Especially unnecessary statues, better to be removed from the houses. The other thing, Islamically we are told, is to avoid sleeping at Maghrib time, right before Maghrib, because Hadith says that before Maghrib and before sunrise are the times that they are more active. So we better protect ourselves, and in some cultures they close the windows and doors at that time. So we make sure we don't sleep at that time. Some girls that they are on their menstrual, some women who are in the period time, they better to avoid going to the public places, markets, graveyards, and the places which are according to the temperament. They have a colder temperament, especially on the Wednesday nights. This is something to keep in mind, that on Wednesday nights, if you don't have to go out, just make sure to stay at home. Sometimes we make some mistakes that we disturb them. Two things should be avoided, especially which is more common, is that one, when we pour hot water, we may burn them because they live with us, they are around us. It's been happening a lot of time, and I hear it many people. They get disturbed by jinns because they poured hot water without saying Bismillah. Solution is that if you're cooking, if you have some hot water you want to get rid of, it's okay. Once you want to pour it, make sure you say Bismillah, just in case if there's anyone around, they can stay away. Two, throwing fire may harm them, may disturb them, and may hurt them. So if you're using fireworks, if you're using, some cultures they throw fire, this should be avoided. Or if you want to do it, make sure you say Bismillah before doing that. The other point is some of the evil types of jinns, they like to approach human beings who are weaker. Therefore, one of the things which attracts them are specific types of music, especially jazz or rock or like rap music. These are the things that can bring us down and makes us vulnerable to being disturbed by jinns. Using black colors at home, it is better to be avoided. The clothes you have at home, Hadith says that it's best to put plaster or white color in your houses, in your rooms. Better to wear colorful clothes in the house to better avoid black clothes, especially for namaz time. It is recommended to avoid that. So as I mentioned, jinns have different types, different tribes, they know different languages, and they have different abilities. As in the Holy Quran says that the jinns who were working for Prophet Sulaiman, among them they were Ghawas, those who used to dive and bring pearls out. Banna, there were some of them who were masons. Some of them, they transport stuff. As the story in the Quran says that one of the jinns offered Prophet Sulaiman to bring the throne from Balqis' palace to his palace. Before you stand up, I'll bring it. So they used to do transportation, and they do as well. So they have different jobs, they have different abilities, they have different religions. And one of the things that the hadith says that make sure when you want to put your child to sleep, make sure their hands and face doesn't smell of food, because the way they eat food is by smelling and sniffing. So make sure the hands and face of the child or even ourselves are clean and washed before going to bed. Inshallah, in the next video we'll talk about how to protect ourselves, what to do to protect our houses, and how to safeguard ourselves in these situations. Thank you.